My Christian education mentor, Ronald Dart, has an audio program entitled A Man of Understanding. I have the link to his website, borntowin.net, in this post, and a direct link to this free audio program. In this 28-minute audio that I strongly recommend that you listen to for Ronald Dart's insight and wisdom from the Bible, he talks about how we should react to those that we disagree with. His example starts out with a Christian internet forum in which people react with hostility toward each other and verbally attack each other. Not real Christian-like, but this applies to any subject matter, really, when there is a disagreement in ideology or pure ignorance on the part of either party. He says that we should react to those that we disagree with one of two options: indifference or curiosity. If it appears that the person doesn't know what they're talking about, you just ignore their comments and politely change the subject. But if the person appears to be somewhat with it and have a rational thought behind their beliefs, then even if we disagree with that person, it may be worth discussing and investigating with curiosity how they came to their conclusions. The motivation here should be just understanding. We have to realize that we don't have all the answers, and it may be beneficial to understand other people's perspective. As it applies to our spiritual or religious beliefs, Ronald Dart believes that this is essential to our spiritual development. We need to understand where our beliefs and positions on various subjects come from and what they are based on. Ronald Dart asks the question, why do some people react not with indifference or curiosity, but with a third approach being anger and hostility? He speculates it results out of fear and insecurity. In the case of Christians lashing out in anger on internet forums, it is fear and insecurity about their faith. They have a lot of time and energy invested in their faith and their church or their pastor or Bible study leader, and when someone has a different opinion, they view it as an attack on their faith and beliefs, and they want to defend their position. The same applies to any subject, really, in which we have something invested. But a reaction with anger and hostility is a sign of fear and insecurity out of lack of understanding, wisdom, and truth. Ronald Dart observes a correlation between the security one has in his faith, and the calm in which they approach an adverse idea. Inversely, the amount of insecurity we have in our faith directly relates to the degree of hostility that overcomes a person when confronted with an adverse idea. Can we face the cold, hard reality that we may be wrong about something? Ronald Dart gives an example in his life, when he had to face this reality. That was when a great insight came over him. He realized that he had absolutely nothing to fear from the truth. He remembered the words of Jesus when he said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." He realized that one of the things the truth sets you free from is fear. And he realized, knowing this passage, that there is a direct correlation between truth and freedom. The truth will set you free. So, to whatever extent you don't know the truth, you're not free. So if you're not supported by the truth, fear and insecurity enter the scene, and with fear comes the temptation to manipulate the facts, to shore up any weakness a person may have. And because of this direct correlation between truth and being free from fear and insecurity, the more you understand the truth, the easier it is to spot manipulators of the truth. And you understand their motivation to hide the truth, to protect their ego and the lie that is propping themselves up. What happens is they end up lying to themselves, and they get upset with anyone who challenges their position on the matter, on any matter. Their hostility is based in fear of anyone who will potentially expose them and the lie that they're hiding behind. Ronald Dart's security in his faith came from two things. First, understanding the words of Jesus about truth setting you free, this correlation between truth and freedom, and in reading and rereading the book of Proverbs many times over in his life. But he says reading the book of Proverbs as a part of your prayer life is a very tough study. It calls you a fool time and time again, and you can't escape it. But remember, the truth will set you free. There is a thread that runs through the book of Proverbs, and it focuses on the word understanding, the characteristic of an understanding man, how you get understanding, and what value understanding carries in your life. Ronald Dart reminds us that Solomon wrote the book of Proverbs, and Solomon's father was none other than King David of Israel. The book of Proverbs is a father's instruction to his son, David, to Solomon. It's really through Solomon. Ronald Dart, in the audio A Man of Understanding, goes into several chapters and verses of Proverbs, pointing out the lessons about wisdom and understanding. There's a close correlation between wisdom and understanding, and Ronald Dart brings this out in his audio program, pointing out that the words wisdom and understanding each appear 54 times in the book of Proverbs. Ronald Dart says that for him, reading the Bible has been the greatest source for understanding and wisdom in his life. Even for just living an ordinary life in the world, not to mention getting to know and understanding God and his Son better. I have gained so much wisdom and understanding as well from the Bible. I have listened to audio programs like this from Ronald Dart for about 6 years now, and have so much more understanding about myself, others, and God through teachings like this. This is where I came to the understanding of the truth pyramid based on wisdom and truth between myself, God, and others. Again, I strongly recommend that you invest your next 28 minutes to listening to A Man of Understanding by Ronald Dart. Click on the link in my post.